back at it for another exciting week of local television entertainment, local television information, and just plain local TV. Monday, 9th day of December 2024. I am Dan Kuntz. Not a bad morning, clear skies. What you see behind me is not indicative of what it's really like. We saw the sunshine yesterday. Get out of town. Been a couple of weeks. Gonna see it again today. And then remember the low clouds and the fog that kind of hung around here for a while? Well, it's gonna come back. Tomorrow and Wednesday and Thursday could see some snow in the Wenatchee Valley, right here on the valley floor. This weekend, computer models aren't quite in agreement yet. Right now, it looks like we could get a little bit of the white stuff here in the Wenatchee Valley. It's only 16 days until Christmas, so anyway, beautiful day today, although a little on the cool side, 29 degrees. It was nice to see the sun yesterday, though, wasn't it? We'll get it for one more day. A lot of folks in our viewing area didn't get it. The frontal system that came in gave everybody yesterday quite a dose of sunshine in the north central Washington area, but it never quite cleared out. Out in the Columbia Basin, most of eastern Washington, we're still stuck in the gunk, but not us. Details coming up. News, yes, sports. Seahawks, 4 consecutive victories, 7 in a row over the Cardinals. They dispatched Arizona. In Glendale, we'll hear from Coach Mike McDonald. He had a pretty good week. He's a father. He had a baby on Tuesday. Well, his wife had the baby, but, you know, he was there for some of the important stuff. Then they won. That's cool. The complete bowl lineup is set. We'll let you know how the Wild did over the weekend, but the Kraken won yesterday at the world's most famous arena. And we'll re-air the interview I did with Jeremy Anders, the general manager of the Wenatchee Valley Super Oval, because their 2025 schedule is out. It's their 55th year of racing up at Fancher Heights, so we're going to tease you, for you folks who like the racing and who doesn't, with Jeremy Anders in the back half of the program. As far as the clouds and the fog, I mentioned we had the sun breaks yesterday. It was a beautiful day, and we're going to have it again today. But again, you head on out to the Columbia Basin, not so much because, well, you just didn't get it. So once again, for you folks, here's a slide you're probably sick and tired of seeing, but we're going to show it to you again. Fog again through today, through the morning hours anyway. A pretty low-hanging, pretty dense fog out of the Columbia Basin. And up to the north of us, Omak, Okanagan, you got some poor visibility as well. You could even see a little packets of black ice here and there. It was a little slippery yesterday morning when I got up. I went up to the store at about 8 o'clock in the morning. It was kind of slick. Not the case today, but once again, if you're traveling in the eastern Washington area, basically between Moses Lake to Spokane, you're going to get some fog on the Highway 2 corridor between Wilbur and Spokane, and maybe even affecting Waterville a little bit, areas of low clouds and fog. So it will fill the valleys where we are starting tomorrow. We got one more day of sunshine. Again, that frontal system that came in over the weekend was not quite strong enough to get the clouds out of the way for a good section of eastern Washington, except here. We had sunshine, and we're going to have sunshine again today from the National Weather Service. Here we go. Sunshine today, one more day of it. Get out and enjoy. We'll eventually climb up to 38 degrees, which is about normal for this time of the year. 26 for the overnight low, and then here we do it again. Sorry, folks. We'll see some clouds for the most part on Tuesday with a high of only 29. We're not even going to get up to freezing. And look at the overnight low on Tuesday night, 28. Yep, we're doing this all over again. 35, the forecast high on Wednesday. Lots of clouds. Wednesday night, clouds. Overnight low of about 30. A slight warming trend on Thursday. Now, the snow level is going to be at 1,100 feet. That's us. But very little chance of snow really expected on Thursday. We'll get up to about 37. Chance of snow is about 20% Thursday night. Again, a light dusting here and there. 31 for the overnight low. 35 with a slight chance of snow on Friday, but some sun breaks too. Friday night, chance of snow goes up to maybe 40%, occasionally mixed with rain, but it's going to be pretty mild, 31. For the overnight low, be hovering right around that mid-30 temperature with a more of a rain chance than a snow chance on Saturday and Sunday. Keep in mind, the upper elevations, the passes, the Waterville Plateau, and a few other folks, you could get some snow down here, probably rain by the time we get to Friday and Saturday. Enjoy the sunshine today, folks, because it ain't going to be hanging around much for the rest of the week. Going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll have the news on this Monday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
Between juggling groceries, preparing meals, and lending a helping hand, you're a hero without a cape. But who's there to support you? Aging and Adult Care honors caregivers like you, the relatives, friends, and neighbors, helping loved ones remain safely at home. Aging and Adult Care offers chore services, respite, personal care, and more. Serving Chelan, Douglas, Grant, Lincoln, Adams, and Okanagan counties, call Aging and Adult Care at 1-800-572-4459 for caregiver support.
Central Washington Water is your hot spring spa dealer for over 45 years. Shop their showroom and see the new Freshwater Smart IQ. This is a new innovative approach to super simple water care combined with the freshwater salt system to give you clean, balanced spa water naturally. There's a hot tub for every budget. Save up to $1,000 on hot spring spas or buy plug-and-play spas starting at $79 per month. Why shop anywhere else? Central Washington Water. They service what they sell.
Have you ever played that game, What Would You Rather, where you give two options to see what your friend would choose? Well, let's try it. What would you rather? Would you rather have a telemarketer from a foreign call center named David, or a local North Central Washington agent who has been helping folks for over 20 years on Medicare and has 5 offices to serve you, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. So, what would you rather? Now give us a call at Springwater Insurance. Our phone number, 509-888-2600.
It's a hometown celebration Christmas in Cashmere, Saturday, December 7th. It's family fun with a kid shop, live festive music, complimentary warm beverages, and tasty holiday treats. Come enjoy the sights and sounds of the season. Don't forget, Santa Claus arrives at 11, and please visit our sponsors.
The Cashmere Chamber of Commerce mission is to promote and support new and existing businesses. Cashmere Veterinary Clinic, natural pet care in everything they do, located in downtown Cashmere.
Clear skies, a little on the cool side, 28 degrees. We'll have quite a bit of sunshine today, upper 30s. That's pretty much it for the sun until maybe Friday. We'll be dealing with the low clouds and the fog again for most of this week. Slight chance of some lowland snow, though, this weekend. Not much, but it's out there. It's 7 minutes after the hour. The Leavenworth Village of Lights Festival continues through the holiday season. And with that, another round of traffic and parking restrictions. They've been tweaking the traffic and parking restrictions on a week-by-week basis, and they've done it again. The City of Leavenworth, Chelan County, and State Department of Transportation officials have changed some of the traffic changes designed to avoid congestion on key emergency routes. If there's an emergency, they got to get there. So in addition to no parking zones within the city, north of Highway 2, drivers are going to have to wait for a flagger to make a left turn from First Street or North Road onto Chumstick Highway. Traffic managers added the flagger controls last weekend after the first weekend when a lack of direction frustrated some local residents. The restrictions are in place from 10 a.m. to 8 o'clock for the next 3 Saturdays right through December 28th. Chelan County's Natural Resources Department has won more federal funding for its ongoing Upper Wenatchee Pilot Project. The $1.5 million grant through the National Fish and Wildlife Foundation will improve wildfire resilience for about 5,000 acres in the western half, or the western part of Chelan County. It will be tree thinning and underbrush removal. Some of the funds will also go to 9 projects to improve fish passage on 30 miles of streams within the Okanagan-Wenatchee National Forest. The Upper Wenatchee Pilot Project encompasses a total of about 75,000 acres. Senators Maria Cantwell and Patty Murray announced the grant last week. By the way, Chelan County will provide $870,000 in matching funds. A longtime plant researcher with the Washington State University has a new role at the Tree Fruit Research Center up there on Western. Lee Kalsitz has been named the center's new programmatic lead. He'll be sharing responsibility for the overall direction of the facility where the Cosmic Crisp apple was developed. He replaces an interim director who's held the post since Chad Kruger stepped down last June after 4 years on the job. Kalsitz has spent 10 years at the Wenatchee lab studying environmental effects on apples, pears, and other tree fruits. Wazoo says he will oversee scientific research at the Tree Fruit Center, while a yet-to-be-named manager will handle the facilities and the operations. His new post took effect on December 1st. Grant PUD commissioners have approved a 5-year purchase power agreement with Goose Prairie Solar Development to support the county's growing energy needs. The deal secures 100% of the energy output from the 80-megawatt Moxie-based facility. It's part of the Grant PUD's plan to add 120 megawatts of solar power by the year 2026 to address consumer growth. Over the next 20 years, Grant PUD hopes to gain more than 1,100 megawatts of new power from solar projects, plus another 500 from wind, battery storage, and other means. Wenatchee Police Chief Edgar Reinfeld was involved in a minor collision on Friday afternoon between his vehicle and a bicyclist. Reinfeld was driving out of the alley behind the police headquarters on Yakima Street when his SUV struck the passing bicyclist, who was checked for injuries at the scene and then released. The accident happened shortly after 1 o'clock on Friday afternoon. Reinfeld declining to comment on the circumstances of the collision, but said it would be reviewed internally. The former police captain, of course, was sworn in last summer as Wenatchee's newest police chief after the retirement of Steve Crown. And Dan Riggers, founder of DR Creations in Wenatchee, he's been crafting unique ceramic homeware since 1980, blending nostalgia with modern designs. He offers seasonal holiday items and showcases his creations at places like the Pybus Public Market, relying on word of mouth and flyers to connect with local customers. We spoke with him as part of our series on local artisans offering holiday gift ideas, produced by us and our media partner at the Wenatchee World.
My name is Dan Riggers. The name of the business is DR Creations. We make everything ourselves here in Wenatchee, and we try to make things that are different or unique that you don't find anymore. We make everything with lead-free glazes, and services, we try to do different craft shows or farmers markets to get the product out to the public. Business we started in 1980, and we've just been going ever since. We do it out of our home, but we don't, we're the old school. No website, and it's just a lot of it's word of mouth. What we do is it's all made with molds because it's ceramic, and we'll pour the molds, get the shape we want. Takes about 2 weeks from once we pour it to once it's sellable, because you have to let it dry and then a series of firings.
Yeah. So what inspired you to make the different kinds of dishes?
I don't know, it was just, I learned the trade over on the coast, and it was just what people wanted, you know. That's what we've done, yeah. We just did it, you know, as a hobby and just kept doing it, and people wanted it, so we just kept making it. We provide holiday items for different holidays, and some outdoor stuff, but it's mainly the houseware items.
Yeah, so what customers would you say are most interested in buying your product?
A lot of it is people that are buying stuff. It's stuff they might have seen as children, or their grandparents, their parents had it, so that's why they come. We do have a flyer that we send out to a group of people that give us their addresses. Otherwise, just look for us at Pybus Public Market. We will be here every weekend through Christmas, except the first weekend in December when we go to Ephrata. We try to do some of the outlying areas, Ephrata, Quincy, Waterville.
What inspiration do you use to make the designs on your product?
It's mainly what the public wants, or you know that's popular, but like chickens or peppers. I have been doing Pybus for years, and so you just kind of are on their circuit and you just come. What's nice about Pybus, it's getting to be a destination place, so you get a lot of travelers from out of the area, and that's where a lot of the business comes from.
And that is the news on this Monday, the 9th day of December. The news will come your way tonight at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock on television. That's the on-air times, 5, 6, and 10. And we know that doesn't necessarily work into your schedule, so if you want to watch the news when you're ready to watch the news, we got you covered. Our news will be up and running on our Facebook page, our YouTube page, on our homepage, NCWLIFE.com. NCWLIFE.com. Our news is also archived, too, if you want to watch the news from a couple of weeks ago. I guess that wouldn't be news, would it? In any event, and if something out there you think is newsworthy, don't hesitate. Send us an email, news@ncwlife.com. We'd love to hear from you. Good weekend for the Seahawks. Not too bad for the Kraken, for the Wild. Sports is next. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, located on South Wenatchee Ave, has the largest selection of spas and swim spas in town. Stay cool this summer in an artesian swim spa and use it all year long. We enjoy helping families reconnect one spa at a time. Hot tubs are proven to improve sleep and decrease arthritis pain. Our passion is water, so please bring us a water sample, and we will help you diagnose your pool or spa water for free. Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, your pool and spa experts.
The family at the Epladolin want to help your loved one feel at ease in their new home environment. Epladolin offers beautiful one-bedroom and studio apartments. Residents enjoy 3 delicious home-style meals a day, laundry service, housekeeping service, and encouragement to make themselves cozy in their new home. Epladolin welcomes your family to come and visit their family. Epladolin, independent and assisted living. They make the complicated easy for you. Call today for a tour.
Global Car Care has the best customer service in the Valley. From the moment you walk in the door, their goal is to help you stay on the road, so you can keep doing what's important to you. Global Car Care certified ASE mechanics stand behind your automotive repairs.
When you buy tires at Les Schwab, you're getting more than just tires. You're getting America's best tire warranty, 60-day satisfaction guarantee, no hassle road hazard protection, and free maintenance for the life of your tires. So if something happens to your tire on the road, we'll fix it, or we'll replace it, no questions asked. Other places make you pay extra for that kind of protection, but at Les Schwab, it's included with every set of tires, because more warranty means less worry, and nobody stands by their tires like Les Schwab. Get more from less.
"17 minutes after the hour, the Seattle Seahawks won their 4th game in a row yesterday, 30-18, the final over Arizona down in Glendale. Zach Charbonnet ran for a career-high 134 yards, a couple of touchdowns. Geno Smith threw for 233 yards and a touchdown. The defense had 2 crucial interceptions in the first quarter. The Seahawks sweep the season series from the Cardinals, have now won 7 in a row against Arizona. Coach Mike McDonald said that, yeah, the team is playing pretty good, but there's always room for improvement.
I have been saying for weeks, we're working on this thing. So we're working through all the processes. By no stretch of the imagination have we made it, but it's great to kind of get a breakthrough on productivity, on how we want to play. I thought Grubb called a great game. And onward we go, so I think now we can hopefully this generates some more confidence for us in the things that we've been doing and the inputs that we're putting in. But I thought we played a complimentary game today. The ball wasn't in jeopardy. Geno didn't take any sacks, and so that's what it's going to take to win, especially late in the year.
Seahawks have the national spotlight this Sunday night. They host the 9-4 Green Bay Packers on Sunday Night Football on NBC. That'll be good. For the rest of the NFC West, the 49ers took care of the Bears in Santa Clara, actually. They don't play in San Francisco anymore. 38-13, and the Rams came back and upset the Bills. The Bills made it interesting at the end, but the Rams pulled it out. The final was 44-42. Oliver Bjorkstrand had a couple of goals and a couple of assists to help Philip Grubauer and the Seattle Kraken. They beat the Rangers 7-5 yesterday in Madison Square Garden. Eli Tolivin had a goal and a couple of assists for Seattle. Brandon Tanev, Vince Dunn, Shane Wright, and Yanni Gord also scored. Grubauer with 32 saves.
Now Dunn, guarded by the stickless Zibanejad. Vince Dunn bobbing out Beniers. In tight, Stevenson in front, they score! That's hockey, baby! It's Oliver Bjorkstrand as he goes top shelf with a power play goal, and the Kraken have tied it. To the board, Stevens taken down, Oleksiak has the puck. Seattle through center. Brandon Montour goes wide of Smith a forward. Tough angle, shoulder down. Short side held by Quick. Hack and whack time at the side of the goal. Pried out by Brandon Tanev. Turbo sends it in for Ty Cartier in a stick battle with Adam Fox. Now Stevens powers in front. They score! Brandon Tanev. And Mitchell Stevens did all the bulwark in his 100th game. Turbo gets the goal. 5:54 left to go in the second. The Kraken within one.
Get the cycle game going. Bring the puck around. Winning your one-on-one battles. Every forward on that line touches the puck. Nice power move behind the net.
2-on-2. Shane Wright, Oliver Bjorkstrand. Wright dangles in this time. Forced wide by Schneider. Shane Wright hustles to the corner. Checked on the play by Vincent Trocheck. And now Bjorkstrand to the slot. Tolvanen. He scores! What a dart! High cheddar, a blast from Eli Tolvanen. With 4:26 left in the second period, the Kraken have tied it.
To expose the middle of the ice for the Rangers. Cycle play. Bjorkstrand does a good job filing out, but Tolvanen's got to do.
Held out for 3 games to kind of assess the situation. Remember, he's still on a development curve. Montour, they score! Tipped home out in front.
6 minutes or so for the Kraken to be able to take the lead here. There's the help from a winger off the faceoff.
Stevenson turns it over to Keandre Miller for a moment. The Kraken reestablished Burakovsky. Hammered by Dunn. He scores!
A couple of great plays here. Stevenson gets the puck below. I like the play from Burakovsky. Ends up getting this puck over to Dunn. To watch Stevenson go right to the front of the net. There's going to be a moving screen pass.
Just a few weeks away from the holiday break. Out of the corner, it's centered in front. The Kraken will get it out to center ice. A lead pass for Eli Tolvanen, who scored a dandy today. Right, scores! That's hockey, baby! Again! Eli Tolvanen to Shane Wright. It's pay dirt. And the Kraken have a 3-goal lead.
Pretty good road trip for the Kraken. Now they're back in Seattle to take on the Florida Panthers tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Well, the College Football Bowl schedule is out, where the Huskies and Cougars are going to play. The Cougars get to go to San Diego. The Huskies get to go to El Paso. I don't know which is better. Cougars will take on the Syracuse Orangemen at the Holiday Bowl in San Diego. That'll be on the evening of December 27th. For the Huskies, we're back to the Sun Bowl for the 5th time. They'll take on the Louisville Cardinal for the first time ever. That will be on New Year's Eve, well, in the morning anyway, at 11 a.m. kickoff on December 31st. Well, the high school's fall season is done. They wrapped it up this weekend with the football championships. For the 4A, it'll be Sumner winning their 2nd state championship. They did it by beating Camas on Saturday night at Husky Stadium. In the 3A, it is O'Day winning their 5th state championship. They knocked off Bellevue. Anacortes repeats as the 2A champion, back-to-back for them. They defeated Tumwater. And of course, Royal, as you probably know by now, wins their 5th consecutive 1A championship and their 13th overall. That's a state record. They took care of Seton Catholic in the second half. In the 2B, congratulations to Okanagan. They repeat as the 2B champions, their 5th overall state title. They knocked off Napavine. And Wilbur Creston Keller wins their 1st ever state championship in the 1B. They beat Liberty Christian. Finally, Wenatchee Wild over the weekend. Tough weekend for the Wild. They played 3 games and scored a total of 4 goals. On Friday night at the Town Toyota Center, Spokane took care of business. No problems there. 6-2. And then in Spokane on Saturday, it was the Chiefs over the Wild 3-2. Yesterday was teddy bear toss, where the fans of the home team throw teddy bears on the ice once the home team scores a goal. Home team didn't score a goal. Everett running away with the league right now and knocked off Wenatchee 3-0. They have 3 games on the road this week before they get their holiday break. And those are just some of the games that people are playing. At 24 minutes after the hour, if you want to, you can celebrate World Techno Day. It's National Llama Day. It's National Pastry Day. If you're watching online in Albania, I want to wish all of you a happy National Youth Day. And in Tanzania, it's Republic Day. We're not doing any of those. Just 16 days until Christmas, so today is National Christmas Card Day. And who doesn't like getting a Christmas card in the mail? Like everybody does. Of course, you get a Christmas card from somebody you don't expect. You got to return the favor, so you always have to keep 5 extra ones sitting around. We owe this Christmas tradition of sending out holiday greeting cards to Henry Cole in 1843 England. The British postal system was going great guns during the Victorian era, and Henry Cole was a very popular guy, and he got a lot of mail. And of course, it was considered a faux pas, it was considered rude if somebody wrote you a letter or a card and you did not reciprocate. And Sir Henry Cole got a lot of letters, and he said, I got to figure out a way to respond to all this correspondence quickly and without a lot of effort. So he came up with the idea of having a printing friend of his make them up basically 3x5 cards under heavy, stiff cardboard stock. He had a local artist friend do a nice little Arctic thing, some sort of winter scene on the front of it. And then on the back of it, it was blank. It was to whatever. And then all you had to do was turn the card over, fill out the name, and stick it in the mail. It expedited things a great deal. So if you're into Christmas cards, you can thank Henry Cole, Christmas 1843 in Victorian England, who started that tradition. Now you know. It's 26 minutes after the hour. Today in history, his name was Walter Liggett. He was the newspaper editor of the local newspaper in Minneapolis and St. Paul. And Walter Liggett was very good at his job. He had the nerve to expose local politicians in the Twin Cities and their ties to Isidore Blumenfield. Isidore Blumenfield was the godfather of the largest organized crime family in Minnesota, and Walter Liggett wrote all about it. He had the inside stuff. He says, hey, Blumenfield and all these local politicians in the Twin Cities are in bed together. Well, Blumenfield attempted to bribe Walter Liggett into not publishing his articles. When Walter Liggett refused, Blumenfield and his associates beat the crap out of him. He kept going at it. He kept exposing Isidore Blumenfield. And finally, on this date in 1935, Blumenfield had enough, and Walter Liggett was cut down by submachine guns outside his apartment. It went to trial. 4 witnesses identified Isidore Blumenfield as the guy who pulled the trigger. And then they had the trial, and he was acquitted because the 4 witnesses aren't about ready to testify against the Godfather, and they didn't. And Isidore Blumenfield basically committed homicide and got away with it because no way any of the witnesses were going to testify against this guy, or they would end up in concrete shoes as well. That was 89 years ago. 59 years ago today, a Charlie Brown Christmas. There's the actual ad for Charlie Brown Christmas, the first Peanuts television special, debuts on CBS, and it has not aged a bit. December 9th, 1965. When CBS executives previewed A Charlie Brown Christmas about 10 days before it aired, they didn't like it at all. They said, what are you guys doing here? There's not enough action. It moves way too slow. We don't like the music. The voices have been done by real kids, not adult actors. There's no laugh track. This is supposed to be a cartoon. Linus reading from the Bible. You can't read from the Bible on network television, but it was only 10 days before it was supposed to air, so CBS didn't have any choice. I mean, it's a cartoon. Producers say it takes forever to make a cartoon. We can't make all these changes, so they just aired it as it was on December 9th, 1965, and of course, about 16 million people watched it. It won an Emmy Award, and it has since become a Christmas classic, A Charlie Brown Christmas, the first Charlie Brown animated cartoon 59 years ago today. And smallpox is gone. December 9th, 1979, smallpox was pretty much a death sentence if you were a kid. About half the people who got smallpox, of course children we're talking about, would die. Smallpox is eradicated. December 9th, 1979, one of only 2 diseases that have been driven to extinction. Smallpox is dead, according to the World Health Organization, and good riddance 45 years ago. Today, birthdays. All heavenly birthdays except one. Margaret Hamilton, the Wicked Witch of the West, on the legendary Wizard of Oz. She was nothing like her character, as you might imagine. They're actors. Margaret Hamilton, born in the state in 1902, died in 1985. Tip O'Neill, my favorite Speaker of the House. I always liked Tip O'Neill. Found him quite entertaining. Certainly took care of his constituents in Massachusetts. He was the Speaker of the House for 10 years, born in the state in 1912, and one of those guys who left politics at the door at the end of the business day. Kirk Douglas lived to be 103 years old. That's damn impressive. not only acting but producing and other great things. The great Kirk Douglas, born in the state in 1916. We lost Dick Buckus last year. He passed away. He's in the Hall of Fame, of course, considered by many to be the greatest linebacker of all time. When he was asked by a reporter if he was mean, as the rumors suggested, Dick Buckus replied, "I never went out to hurt anybody deliberately in a football game unless, of course, it was an important game like a league game." Dick Buckus, born in the state in 1942, and John Malkovich. Whenever I'm channel flipping and John Malkovich pops on, I'm going to stop and watch because I find him fascinating. He is 71 years old today. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. Do you have one of those situations where one room is really cold, the other room is really hot, you can't figure out what the hell's going on? Give Alpine Air a call. They'll come out and take a look-see. They know what they're doing. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. Mike Benatti's got an opinion, and then my conversation with Jeremy Anders, the general manager of the Wenatchee Valley Super Oval. The schedule for 2025 is out, and there are some races you don't want to miss. Jeremy joins me when we come back. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
It's a hometown celebration, Christmas in Cashmere, Saturday, December 7th. It's family fun with a kid shop, live festive music, complimentary warm beverages, and tasty holiday treats. Come enjoy the sights and sounds of the season. Don't forget, Santa Claus arrives at 11, and please visit our sponsors. Get coverage you can trust from Bruce Cheadle, your State Farm agent.
Eplidolin Retirement and Assisted Living. Make an appointment to take a tour today.
If your chair is comfortable and still fits, don't toss it. Reupholster it at Wenatchee Upholstery. The sky is the limit. From new upholstery in your favorite car to upgrading your seats in the boats. Everything old can be new again when you call Joe. Personalize your golf cart, grandma's chair, your favorite bar stool. Trust your treasure with Wenatchee Upholstery.
This is the time of year we celebrate family, traditions, and great food. At Abby's, our legendary pizzas are so giant, they feed up to 6 happy family members. When you need a break from cooking, think Abby's. Our place or your place. Our family is here for your family.
Let's go to Hawaii for the holidays.
Here's an easier idea. Enjoy Abby's classic Big Hawaiian Pizza this December. This delicious tropical and giant pizza is at a special holiday price. And when you gift an Abby's gift card, we'll give you a present too.
I think that's a power line.
Nailed it.
What the?
Are you gonna call 911 or should I?
Actually, we're late. I'm just gonna drive over it.
Afraid not. Down power lines are super dangerous. If you see one, you call it in.
Yeah, I just drove up to a down power line.
She gets it.
This is Mike, Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody's entitled to my opinion. Now, there are 2 churches in this community who are advocating preparing with firearms. Now, okay, I'm not sure what this has to do with Christianity, you know, but I can choose not to go to these churches if I don't want to. But my question is, who are these folks planning on shooting? Gay men who want to take their spouses shoe shopping? Transgender guys who want to read stories to kids? People who don't like Trump? I mean, these supposed Christians, they can dislike these folks if they want to, but take up firearms against them? What does that say about them? What does that say about the state of the church? Gosh, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
Let your kindness shine bright at Boswell's. This holiday season, donate $50 or more to charity and save $400 on stressless Mayfair recliners and ottomans. And save $200 on any stressless recliner, home office chair, and each seat of a stressless sofa. Plus, take $200 off 4 stressless dining chairs now. Shop Boswell's, 2915 Easy Street in Wenatchee.
Hey there,
folks. Blueberry Carrie here to invite you on out to experience Blueberry Hills. Of course, the food is fabulous, like our cheese splints, our famous French dip, our legendary Eggs Benedict, and unforgettable burgers. But we're more than just great food. People come from all over the world to experience what's been called one of the best destination restaurants in the Pacific Northwest. So come on out and see what all the fuss is about. Blueberry Hills in Manson. It's where the world is coming to.
Downtown Wenatchee, something for everyone. Find custom floral designs for any occasion at Mountain Chick Floral. Even more wonderful plants and gifts abound in every corner in their new location at 7A South Wenatchee Avenue.
The original children's shop in downtown Wenatchee. We strive to bring you the most quality, fashionable, and fun clothing for your little ones, along with gifts, toys, and accessories. I look forward to meeting you soon at the original children's shop.
Downtown Wenatchee, it's all here. Introducing Wenatchee's Riverfront District.
Order your custom turkey or prime rib today in time for your favorite feast and dazzle your friends and neighbors with culinary excellence.
When it comes to live music in Wenatchee, the River House Cigar Bar has you covered. You can choose smoking or non-smoking areas, select from a wide variety of drinks and menu items, and dance the night away, all under one roof. It's the one and only River House Cigar Bar in Wenatchee's Riverfront District.
Visit the Wenatchee Riverfront District for fun, food, and entertainment.
Welcome back to the program. Anytime I get a chance to talk about the WVSO, I am on board. You know me well enough, viewers. I'm really into music. Music's my thing. And the fact that we have all these great musicians who gather together and perform some of the great classics at the America Performing Arts Center touches me deeply. So here to talk about the WVSO, the Wenatchee Valley Super Oval, is the conductor, Nick Khalid. Nick, it's good to see you, my friend, at the... I'm sorry. It's not the wrong WVSO. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's Jeremy from Wenatchee Valley's Super Oval, which explains a lot. I was going to say, Nick, you look terrible, but
Nick looked completely different. I actually went to a Wenatchee Valley Symphony Orchestra show last year.
They're good.
First time in a while, yeah.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah. It is funny, though. We both share the WVSO name, right?
Yeah,
so
you got the same acronym.
Complete opposite sides.
Yeah. But first of all, you're plural. You're Wenatchee Valley's Super Oval, which I've always liked, as opposed to the Wenatchee Valley Symphony Orchestra. The calendar is out. You have 18 big, huge days of racing coming up for the 55th year of racing up at Fancher?
55th year of racing, Wenatchee Valley Super Oval. It's been an amazing run. This is, we didn't get to celebrate our 50th year. Our 50th year got drowned by COVID, so we didn't get we got a race that year. A lot of big partner with you guys, but we want to make sure we celebrated 55 big because we didn't get to celebrate 50. And we had some big things planned for our 50th year, but we couldn't pull them off. So we went out and probably put together one of our most diverse, aggressive, big, packed schedules we could, and we have everything you can think of packed into one schedule. We have things that are coming to the track that have not been here for 22 years, 23 years. We have things that have been here for 10 years, 8 years, all coming back into this one season, and it is going to be a killer year.
The process for the uninitiated, all the track people, the owners and the managers and the association, you guys all get together, I believe, in Portland for about 3-day confab. Is that right? You have banquets, you have trophies, and you all sit out, and everybody hashes out a schedule together so everybody is on the same page. And because talk about how the whole scheduling works, because it's just not you and Garrett and Michelle. Everybody has to be on the same page for this whole thing to work. Between Evergreen Speedway and now that the Tri-Cities is opening. Talk about how that whole process works.
It's similar to what you do like for, let's say, the hockey league, the WHL for like the Wenatchee Wild. The promoters work together, and a lot of it actually. Some of it happens before we even get to Portland. You have a pretty good idea of kind of what you're wanting and hoping, and then you kind of finalize those deals in Portland. We do Portland. It's called WRPA, the Western Auto Racing Promoters Association. We go down there, and you have the tracks from Washington, Oregon, Idaho, California, Nevada, Utah, British Columbia, Alaska. They all come in, and you have dirt tracks, asphalt tracks, and we learn about stuff, like what's happening new in our industry. We share ideas of what was best for us this year, what was great for us, and then we have collaborations or meetings with with our vendors, but also the tracks. And we did a really cool thing this year. We have the Tri-State Pro Late Model Series, which has been our premier Pro Late Model races across the Northwest and really the Eastern Washington side and Oregon and Idaho side the last few years between Wenatchee, State Line, Hermiston, Tri-Cities. And for the first time since that started 4 years ago, we actually have Evergreen Speedway coming on this year. So that joined, and that all happened out in Warpa. So sometimes when you get locked in a room together, things happen, and good things happen. And I think that happened this year with a lot of things. There's some great things happening that are still to be announced for the Northwest racing as well that happened within those doors. So it's just working. I think maybe 25, 30 years ago, the relationships weren't as strong as they are right now amongst promoters in the Northwest. There's a lot more tracks back then, but I think that now that we realize that if we can support each other and make racing healthier, our sport really has had some strong points the last few years with that. But when we can support each other, I think we're stronger across the board.
A few years ago, you lost Yakima. Yakima's gone now. I think it's a hardware store or an Amazon fulfillment
Churns
center.
3, we were just drove by it on the way back from Portland, and Churns 3 and 4 are there, but Churns, pretty much the Churns 1 through 2 is now a Pape store.
So you lost Yakima, but you got Tri-Cities back.
Yeah.
And that was big, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was good. Anytime we get a track back is great. So, and they're not racing a whole lot down there. They only race about 4 times a year, but they bring the big Apple Cup and the big Fall Classic to kind of start the season and end the season, and they have 1 or 2 races in between there. So that just makes more variety for drivers to do. Let's say 20 years ago, we were racing 25 weekends, 25 Fridays and Saturdays. And we just found that going down to that 16 to 18 race schedules. This year we have a couple more than we like to. I mean, I like the 16 race schedule, it just kind of works out nice for us. But it's okay to take some time off. People have families, people want to travel to race other races. It's okay for us to take a little bit of time off just to, take some time. I try to take those last couple weeks off of July for a couple of reasons. Usually it's 2 of the hottest weeks of the year. So it gets really hot up there. And then it's just 2 big races there. And that kind of gives some of our guys a chance to maybe if they want to take a vacation somewhere. It's funny, I always get the calls in October, November from people like, hey, my daughter's getting married. I don't want to miss a race weekend. When are we racing, stuff like that? Or hey, I got engaged this last year. My wife wants to get married in the summertime, but it's race season. Just things like that. So we want to schedule their vacations or schedule weddings. Every once in a while, we go on top of somebody's wedding, and we're sorry about that, but it happens. But we want to make sure that we have some time for our families, and plus the fans. If they get a season pass, they want to have a weekend where they can travel. Maybe not to go to a racetrack. I'm pretty much at a racetrack every single weekend all year long, but it's okay to have a few weekends off.
Yeah, 24 seems a bit much, and it dilutes the product too, doesn't it?
I think back then there wasn't as much competition too, like in the Wenatchee Valley for fans and stuff like that too. Back then there wasn't, you didn't have a lot of the other sports teams or activities going on, and I feel like now definitely things have changed of how people spend their time. So when we're at 17, 18, I think it's a lot. I think it just works out a lot better. It's 1 to 2 races a month, sometimes 3 a month, but you get at least 1 off weekend every single month.
Is it me, or is the quality of the racing improved? I think just from a standpoint of drivers and cars and crews, it just seems to be better than it used to be.
Well, I can say we have some of the best racers in the Northwest racing at Wenatchee Valley Super Oval. Thomas Stanford went out and won 4 track championships this year, or 4 championships in the Northwest this year. His home track is Wenatchee Valley Super Oval. His shop is right there. Casey Klein is based out of Quincy, Washington. He's racing at the Snowball Derby this week down in California. Evan Getz, one of the top racers. They race locally here at Wenatchee Valley Super Oval. We had some of the Evergreen drivers who raced here full time. So we have that on our hobby stock Thunder Car division. Those drivers, they'll compete against anybody in the Northwest right now. So we have some really strong and good racers racing locally here. Our B-Mod class came back, a few years ago, and that's presenting something. We're the only class, or I guess State Line does, but our track has probably the strongest modified divisions on the West Coast, locally racing there every single week. Our 4-cylinder Roadrunner division, that's just chaos sometimes, and it's a lot of fun, but it's really good. Our legend racing, the cool thing about our legend racing is when we do legend races, we kind of, we're centrally located, so we pull the best drivers out of State Line, Hermiston, South Sound, and Evergreen all come, and they all meet here to race against each other here. And now we're starting to get a few more local guys who have legend cars. So I think because we're centrally located, sometimes we draw the talent in here to all those people, but we have some really good local talent as well. The legend himself is from Wenatchee, right? Garrett Evans. So I think that, we have a long history of having great racers out of here, and that provides great product. And I think because we have strong racers, we tend to see some of the other racers come in and want to take on our guys.
And the track. We can't underestimate the importance of the track. It is the fastest quarter mile in the West, and that's not just some marketing slogan. It's nothing cosmetic. It's true. It is, and that brings in the racers, because that gets out in the racing community. They're all talking to each other, and they're saying Wenatchee's a place to race. It's a cool place it's a great place to go. It's great organization, great ownership, and a good track.
I think one of the couple things about the track are the track surface itself. It's a rubberized asphalt, so it doesn't eat up tires. So you can race the same set of tires pretty much the whole entire season you want to in some of our classes. Not to wear by new tires because it has a rubberized asphalt in it. We have nice concrete pits for everybody, power for all the pits. So I think that kind of helps out there quite a bit. So the wear and tear, it can actually save you a little bit of money racing at Wenatchee when you don't have to do that part there. So I think that knowing when people come in, they have that stuff. And talk about being the fastest. For the first time in 23 years, we have the fastest, most bad, I can't say it, race cars on the planet. That's a quote Garrett Evans, that's what he calls them. The super modifieds are back. The first time in 20, I think it's 22, 23 years.
Talk about, how did you swing that?
So we talked about it last year. It's a little bit of a financial overtaking to bring them in, and it's the first time they're back in Washington over 20 years. They've kind of had a resurgence of that class. It's kind of, if you think of an Indy car mixed with a sprint car, and that's what it pretty much is. And they are fast. I think, so I was talking with Garrett about this. So 23, 24 years ago, they were practicing on Friday night. They were in the 9-second track time, which is crazy. And then they came out the next day for qualifying, which is more the official time. And there was, I think it was a street stock or a Thunder car that had gone out before and actually lost a motor and oiled down the track. And so the track wasn't as fast. So I don't know if we'll see a 9-second lap, but I think we're going to see a really low 10-second lap that weekend. Plus we have sprint cars. So Thunder in the Valley is one you want to mark. If you like open wheel racing, you like fast race cars, Thunder in the Valley, July 12th. It's the Speed Tour Super Modifieds, which are just crazy badass cars. And they have cars coming from Utah, California, Nevada, Idaho, all coming out. And you might even have a chance to see an East Coast guy come in for it because it's going to be a big race. Then you have the IWS sprint cars, which are sprint cars. They're usually in the 10-second, 11-second laps. You have the Ted Mitchell Modified Showdown, a race we brought back last year. Ted Mitchell, the guy that paved the track and make it as fast as it is. We're going to have a couple different modified groups in that one. We're expecting 25 modifieds for that race, and then the Northwest Focus Midget. So it's all open wheel racing one weekend. July 12th, it'll be a big one for sure.
You mentioned that the rubberized asphalt at the WVSO, which they did, what, about 2-3 years ago when you repaved it?
No, we haven't repaved it.
Because you don't have to.
1999.
Because you don't have to.
You don't have to. So, I mean, there's other tracks that on the West Coast that have repaved in the last like 10, 12 years, and our track still holds up just as well and still just as fast or faster.
And you mentioned because it doesn't wear the tires down as quickly, and that is still one of the bigger concerns from a financial standpoint for racers is tires. They are not cheap.
Tires are not cheap, no. For some of our classes, that race on a regular basis, a super late model set, you're probably looking at about $900, $950 a set of tires, and some weekends it's probably one set of tires, sometimes two sets of tires. So we try to, that's the nice thing there. Our 970 tire, what we race on for summer classes, keeps the car tossed down a little bit. So some of our classes we have like a tire rule where you can't buy too many tires, pretty much to protect the racers, because many of the racers are my friends, but I'll say it, they outspend themselves sometimes when they don't need to, but it's just to protecting them from themselves.
By the way, the entire race schedule is on the WVSO's Facebook page and their homepage. It's just a nice poster. You can pick out all the dates you want. But you want to get season tickets now, don't you?
Yeah, season passes are on sale now. They went on sale a couple weeks ago. You can buy them on our new ticketing partner, which is Ticket Haas. It's a really cool season pass that goes on your phone. You can actually, if you can't make it to race, you can text those tickets to your friend, and your friend can use those tickets. You can buy them on there. And the nice thing about going on Ticket Haas, you're going to have extra discounts throughout the year for events to go to. You're going to have some merchandise discounts. All that stuff goes through the app. You can also buy them through at Leonard Evans in person with cash or check only there. If you want to do card, you have to do it online. If you buy them at Leonard Evans, you don't get as many discounts because you won't have the app on your phone, but you'll still have some great things there. And right now, they're only $199 which is like less than $10, like $10 a race is pretty much what it breaks down to. And then if you buy them after January 1st, it goes to $249. So you save $50 right now, and you get them. And they were going pretty good. And then yesterday we released the schedule, and literally within like an hour of the schedule coming out, it's like, bam, they all pop up. Like passes start going out pretty fast. So, which we know that usually as soon as the schedule comes out, people are like, oh, I want to buy them, but I want to see what's on the schedule first. And we try to leak little things here and there. So, like we leaked that we have monster trucks coming back the first time in like 7 years. Monster trucks, the Malicious Monster Truck Tour. They got Rockstar, Identity Theft, California Kid, a couple other trucks. They're going to bring the Megasaurus, which is like eats the race cars like that. And we have racing happening with monster trucks. So that's a cool thing. You'll come there, you have a full night of racing, and you'll have monster trucks the first time they've come back. So it's really excited to have those guys back. Like I said, 7 years. We have freestyle motocross coming back. The 406 FMX freestyle motocross Tour. Those guys travel the country. You have guys who have been on the multiple X Games winners in there. Guys who do like the Nitro Circus Tour, they're coming. They'll have a big air show with freestyle motocross.
You use the infield at the WSO for that?
Well, they'll use every square inch.
Okay.
They'll usually they set up some ramps, some portal ramps will go right in front of the front section there. So we'll have some fun stuff there, and then we'll have May 31st is also going on to make. The last 2 years, our Wenatchee 200 has become one of the most prestigious races on the West Coast. This last year, we had drivers from 9 different states racing that race, and last year was $25,000 win and like $1,200 start. This year is $25,000 win, $1,500 start, but we also have an extra $10,000 of bonus money on the line. So the winner could walk away with $35,000. And I literally, when before I walked in the studio, I just got the phone with the driver from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, Canada. And he was like, hey, so we heard about the race last year. We just saw it on your schedule. We said, we're coming this year, one of the details. I talked to a driver last week from Texas who did not come to the race last year. He wants to come up, driver from Arizona. So the race is growing now every year. I mean, in the last couple of years, we've had local Northwest guys win the race. Evan Getz won it this year, $25,000 from Okanagan, Washington, just 15 years old. We had Cole Raz, who won the race 2 years ago. He's racing the Snowball Derby this week from Oregon. But we're now starting to see, we had, Bubba Pollard is the number one super late model driver in the country, came to Wenatchee last year and raced, and he finished in the top 3, but did not win the race. So that tells you drivers like to come to race Wenatchee, and I think this year that race could be one of the biggest races on the West Coast, maybe one of the biggest races in the country.
Wow. 18 events, super late models, sprint cars, pro late models, drifting, B-mods, monster trucks, bump to passes, my favorite. The midgets, the thunder cards, the legends, the bandoleros, the road runners, the youth road runners, the Crown Vics. It's all there. How are you going to cram this all in between Apple Blossom and the end of the year?
So we start 2 weeks before Apple Blossom. April 19th is the season opener, the Tommy Wentz Classic. I know you knew Tommy. Yep. Great guy. We celebrate him. We've kind of honored that the last few years. We do
Miss Tommy Wentz a lot.
Miss Tommy a lot. Yep. And short in stature, big in heart, right? And Tommy, we honor Tommy with the opening race, April 19th, the season opener. You want to be there. And we have some special things we're going to celebrate throughout the year. 55 years. We're going to do a top 55 greatest drivers of all time at WVSO. So it's kind of a few of us working on that to get that narrowed down there. We're going to have a drivers reunion night where we invite all the drivers who have raced the track to come out. And then we're announcing something the next couple of weeks that we're going to try to honor. If anybody wants to do some throwback paint schemes, we're going to have an award at the end of the year for some throwback paint schemes to throw it back to the guys who have raced over the last 55 years. I mean, you got to think, 55 years. There's probably a lot of people in the valley who may not go up there on a regular basis, but at some point in their life they were up there at that track, or they had a connection to somebody to that track. I mean, back in the 70s and 80s, you're a little older than I am, but you used to see race cars in every street corner. All the gas stations had those race cars like that, and so we're starting to see that come back a little bit. We're starting to see guys start to go away from open trailer or closed trailers back to open trailers a little bit. But our goal is this year to have some just big celebrations to celebrate 55 years of racing. There's not very many businesses in the valley that can say they've been around for 55 years. Not very many racetracks in the country that can say they've been around for 55 years. So there's a lot of racetracks closing. We're going strong. Long before there was houses up on Fancher Heights, there was an airport, which is no longer there. The hangars are still there. Those hangars have actually been converted to race shops now, which is kind of interesting. There's a gun club and there's a racetrack. Well, there's still a gun club and there's still a racetrack out there, still going strong. There's still houses coming around, but we've also done some things the last couple of years. We do like Fancher Heights Neighbors Night, where we invite the neighbors of Fancher Heights to come in for free, stuff like that. And so I feel like we have a pretty good relationship with all our neighbors up there. It's funny, I'll be at the store sometimes, or we'll be at like the home show, and I've never been to the track, but I can hear them on Saturday nights. I'm like, well, they're a lot cooler to see in person than to hear a mile away. So I invite, if you've never come do it. We got a playground for the kids, which we're one of the very few tracks that have that. We're doing some remodels on a few things next year to make it a little better. We've got a great souvenir stand with some great merchandise coming available for next year. We've got some great food in our concession stands, which we're kicking up a notch this next year. We got cold beer, which that's great, right? I mean, how can you get cold beer? And always have ice cold Pepsis. That's always a plus. So, and we're probably the only track in the country that offers custom, homemade, great gourmet cheesecake on a racetrack, but we have it at ours.
Right. And the best part about that cheesecake, Jeremy doesn't make it.
So, I don't. I'm not a cheesecake guy, but everybody else at the racetrack is. Yeah. So they make a really good ice cream cookie that I'll eat that for sure.
WVSO.com. Get your tickets. Look at the schedule. If you can only go to 4 or 5 races, say this year because of scheduling conflicts or whatever, You can pick them out right then and there. Individual tickets for individual race nights is down the road yet?
Probably actually the next like 2 to 3 weeks we're going to have it put out.
Will you let me know?
Well, I will let you know. It'll be on our new website, Ticket Hoss, like that. And so the season passes, though, they're going fast. You want to get them out there for sure.
Cool. The conductor of the Wenatchee Valley Symphony Orchestra, Nick Khalil, my guest. It's good to see you, Nick. Keep on twirling that baton. I'm sorry, it's Jeremy Anders. I keep making that mistake. Don't be a stranger, my friend, all right?
Yeah. One more thing, too. If anybody's watching, we are still looking.
If anybody's watching.
If anybody's watching.
Thanks, buddy.
Well, you know, for you, if they see your face, they're going to tune out, right? You want to throw the jokes at me, I'll throw them right back at you. But we are doing our 55th year. We are signing a bunch of new sponsors on, too. So if you have a business and you want to be involved, we have everything from every size budget from $250 to $25,000 and everything in between. So if you want to do that, we've signed on 3 new sponsors in the last couple of weeks. So we have some great things planned, and we just need some great partners to go those things. So reach out to us and let us know.
You mentioned the Wenatchee 200 is presented by Plum Perfect. You don't have Plum Perfect on board, you can't give away all that dough, buddy.
No, and Plum Perfect is special to us. And Matt Brugman, we lost this last year, which was
that's why I brought it up.
That was a tough loss for our racing community, tough loss for many of us personally. He is a special person, and we're actually going to honor Matt going forward. The trophy will be presented that weekend will always be called now the Matt Brugman Memorial Trophy.
Jeremy, it's good to see you. Keep up the best of luck to the Wenatchee High School girls bowling team.
Yeah.
And we'll see you soon.
Hopefully soon.
Yeah. Anytime you want to drop by, call in advance, please. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
Collins Fashions welcomes you to a very special holiday season. We are stocked with beautiful fashions and wonderful gifts for your loved ones. Don't forget the ever-popular Collins gift card. Collins Fashions has complimentary gift wrap and wonderful service in downtown Wenatchee.
Hi, this is Kelly, owner of the original children's shop in downtown Wenatchee. We strive to bring you the most quality, fashionable, and fun clothing for your little ones, along with gifts, toys, and accessories. I look forward to meeting you soon at the original children's shop.
A small town holiday wouldn't be complete without a visit to an original American hardware store in downtown Chelan. Kelly's Ace Hardware has been serving the greater Chelan area for nearly 100 years. Let them take you back to a time where personal service and quality products went hand in hand.
You're invited to experience small town holidays in iconic Lake Chelan. From local shopping to Santa parades, a getaway visit to Lake Chelan is a great way to make this holiday season special. Learn more at smalltownholidays.com.
When getting the job done right is job one, you need construction equipment that's built right. With durable Kubota engines, more comfort, and the versatility to do it all. You need the Kubota construction lineup. Right now, write it off a lot and write it off your taxes for 0 down, 0% APR for up to 60 months or save up to $4,000.
.29 degrees here in the big city. We are bathed in sunshine right now. In fact, most of our viewing area is, with one notable exception. You folks out in the Columbia Basin, you never quite got past what we had yesterday, which we had sunshine. We had that weak system that came in over the weekend to finally get that big ridge of high pressure, which was dominating our weather with all the clouds and the fog. Well, it cleared out our skies, but not out in the Columbia Basin. In fact, during the Jeremy Anders interview, I went ahead and brought up the DOT camera out there in Ritzville. There's 2 or 3 of them in the Ritzville area, and you can't see much of anything. It's very thick fog. So one more reminder for you folks, if for whatever reason you're heading out into the Columbia Basin, either on I-90 or the Highway 2 corridor to the north part of the basin, you got fog. Again, it will burn off. You could even see some patches of black ice as you're out and about. That's a really bad combination. You can't see where you're going, and you can't keep your tires on the road. So yeah, it is still, even though we have lots of sunshine here, not even a cloud in the sky, you head out to Moses Lake in Ritzville and places to the east, and you still have fog and clouds, and the inversion layer didn't quite disperse in that area over the weekend. And low clouds and fog, I'm afraid folks are coming right back to pay us a visit for the rest of the week. Sorry about that. Not expecting any real precipitation, but that weather that we had, the clouds and the fog, which was kind of glunky for about 2 weeks, is coming back. So if you like the sunshine, you had yesterday and you got today from the National Weather Service. Sunshine really all day today. We'll top off at about 38. It feels good to get that sun out there. Not a lot of wind to speak of. 26 for the overnight low tonight. Now the clouds are going to be coming back in tomorrow. The low clouds and fog will likely return to the valleys in our area on Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday for that matter. So tomorrow the clouds are back with a high of only 29. As you can see, the overnight low of 28, very little temperature variation there. 35 with lots of clouds on Wednesday. Again, no precipitation. Tuesday or Wednesday night. Slight chance of some light snow Thursday, but pretty mild, high of 37. And then a continuing chance of some light precipitation, maybe in the form of snow, probably in the form of rain when we get to the weekend. And that's it for us. Have a good and safe Monday. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.